All right. I do think we are live. Get you guys in here. All right. Welcome, everyone, to another Own the Recovery, Business as Unusual. Clearly, we're coming out of it a little bit, but not all the way. So we still have challenges. And I'm excited to welcome today Anna-Marie Ellison from ERA King and Ronnie Gatrey from ERA King, also both from Birmingham, Alabama. And Anna-Marie and Ronnie have been great friends of ours, are part of the ERA network, and are always so sharing with everything they do. They have some just fantastic ideas. And I really thought that having them on today, just to talk about what their company is doing before, during, and after this whole crisis, was something I was really interested in hearing about. So I'm going to bring them on. It's a little weird when we have three people at once, but we're going to try it. All right, there you guys are. So, and I'll probably will pop y'all in and out as you talk, so we don't have quite so much. It looks like the Brady Bunch sort of thing here. Anna-Marie, who I have known the longest, obviously, and Anna-Marie transitioned from being in sales to now the managing partner of ERA King, and I am so proud of her for getting to that position. And Anna-Marie, tell us a little bit about how you got there, and you know what drove you from getting into sales from sales into management.
That's right. Thanks, Michael. Appreciate you having me on today. Chat with your crew. Yep. So I got my license in 2013, and that was right at the bottom of I'm sorry, not 2013, 2006, and that was right at the bottom of the then crash that occurred, or it was going down, and I was unaware that it had been anything different than what it was right that second. So I only knew good old-fashioned hard work, and other agents were going back to the basics, and that was just what I was learning for the first time. Fell in love with real estate, get an adrenaline rush when you're, trying to close the deal or negotiate a deal, and you get the listing. It was a ton of fun. I worked my way up and got to a place where I just wanted some more responsibility and wanted to do something a little bit different, but stay in the real estate family. And I was very fortunate that ERA King, who I work for, was interviewing for a broker position. I applied, and I'll let Everett tell you the story because it's one of his favorite Anna-Marie stories to tell. But you said we have to be done by 6 o'clock, and we wouldn't be able to talk about anything else. So anyway, the rest of the history, we had one office in Birmingham at the time. We now have 4 offices in Birmingham, and we're about to open a satellite in that all falls underneath what I'm ultimately responsible for.
Great. Yeah, I remember you basically started that Birmingham market, and didn't y'all take over an existing ERA that was there?
We did. We rolled in one that was there. The ownership there were great salespeople and wanted to go back to selling real estate, and our merger gave them the ability to do that.
Great. Well, Ronnie, other than your and Anna-Marie too, other than your tremendous golf swing, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got involved with ERA King, and what kind of got you to where you are today?
Well, thanks, Michael. And my golf swing it's deteriorated a lot since that time in Vegas. But I appreciate that compliment. Anna-Marie and I, we've known each other for a few years, and I honestly don't know how it happened. I was working in a marketing firm before I got here, and I remember having some talks with Anna-Marie, and she said a lot of things that I liked that sounded really good. And the next thing you know, I am here. So I do have a background in marketing, which blends well with a lot of services we provide here. And it's funny, Anna-Marie. I think it was around winter time last year was, I think, the conclusion of my first year, and I was like, hold on. I feel like I've only been here like a couple months. How's it a year already? But no, I'm super thankful for this opportunity. As I've told Anna-Marie several times, this role checks a lot of boxes for me. And I never thought anyone would employ me to be me, but just blessed to find someone that has, and they value that. And it makes it super easy to come to work every day.
Now you clearly have a background in marketing and are a tech guru. Your official position is in business development. Just briefly tell me what it is that you do all day, every day, aside from what we're going to talk about, your other things. But what is your role?
So I've put my own spin on this, but I like to describe my role as being a motivator or an influencer internally to our agents to really, help them come out of their comfort zone just a little bit in order to really boost and bring value to their business and like really generate some tactile awareness about their business. And it's crazy since I've been here. Some of the real estate professionals I met with early on, just seeing their growth and seeing them become more comfortable with things like social media and video and things like that, and know that I've played a small role into that, and in helping them with that really does a lot for me. Externally, in this role, I am positioned to in some capacity be a brand awareness person for ERA King, and also build and cultivate relationships with other real estate professionals, just to really be that ear to listen and offer maybe some encouragement or awareness about what we provide here at ERA King in order to help us grow. Like Anna-Marie has set us out to grow. So I hope that answers the question. I was trying not to be too wordy with that. But
so you just do a lot of things.
You're right.
Yeah.
And I may or may not be a DJ too, but more on that later.
Oh, that's even better. So full disclosure, I wore my Georgia shirt today because I have an Alabama fan here in the middle and an Auburn fan there on the other side. So we will be playing you guys knock on wood of some sort here to make sure we have a season. So I just thought I'd rub it in a little bit because we'll figure it out after the season. But don't make fun of me if we lose. So Anna-Marie, I'm just going to start with you real quick, because a lot of what we're going to talk about is like all the kind of cool things you guys are doing with engagement. But one thing that really caught my attention the other day was how you were on Philip Gagnon's podcast, and shout out to him if he's listening. But I was really impressed with your coaching and time management, coaching that you do for your agents, and that how agents that participate tend to grow their business at least an average of 22%. Can you just like sort of briefly run down what you're doing to get those kind of results from your people?
Sure. So we have these coaching and accountability sessions monthly with our team, or with the agents who are interested in receiving this type of service that we offer at ERA King. Ronnie has a group of agents that he coaches, LeBron and Jenny both too, as well as myself. And we meet with these agents monthly. We review their goals that they set out for themselves at the beginning of the year. And we look at, different chunks of their goals throughout to see how they're pacing and what they're doing to reach those goals. Obviously, with the past, we'll say 90 days, about 12 weeks, that has looked very different. It hasn't been so much of, did you go on 4 listing appointments? Did you, did you get on 2 buyers agencies? It's been more of, how are you doing? Are you reaching out to your sphere of influence? So it's had a little bit of a different flavor than it has in the past because of what has occurred. But we still have been meeting with those agents. And I think ultimately, when you're in sales or when you're part of a team, you like to know that somebody has your back and that somebody's there with you, keeping up with what's going on in your business. And us as a brokerage, the agents are churning like this. The deals that they do last anywhere from 30 to 45 days between when they meet somebody and then when it goes under contract, or listing maybe a little bit longer than that. And they've got two sides that keep them stable and keep them from, going off too far to the right, too far to the left. We don't have any control over what happens in their personal life, but we can make sure that we are being unbelievably consistent and supportive on the business side to keep them on track for their personal business, for their personal lives, and then also for their business.
How do you find that agents that are participating in your coaching programs or are wanting to be held accountable, how are they performing compared to those that don't? And I'm not necessarily talking about top producers who kind of do, maybe their own thing, but I did hear you mention that of your top 10%, all of them were part of your coaching program. Yeah. So, what do you see the differences there in terms of somebody who is participating and someone who says, I don't need that?
Well, I use the term coaching. Ronnie and Jenny, LeBron and I, we use the term coaching. For some of these agents, it's just a monthly check-in and accountability that keeps their business in front of them and not, veering off to the side. And it reminds them to be on purpose with what they're doing to reach their goals versus being by accident. I would say that's probably the biggest component, is it just reminds them, all right, real estate still needs to be in the forefront of what I'm doing. I'm supposed to be getting 4 listing appointments this month, or 2 listing appointments, 2 buyers. We're very listing focused. We have been last year with the inventory looking like it has in our market. We're going to continue to be listing focused because it has continued to be very short in our market. We're down to just under 3 months worth of inventory, which is a really scary place to be. That number starts with a 2. That's a really scary place to be, Michael. You know that. So we're really focusing on listings. And so for some of our top producers, I'm not going in and talking to Jeff Newman or Johnny Montgomery about how many listings they got. It's just let's touch base. Let's see where you're at, how you're doing. Are you getting everything you need from us from a company? What are you seeing in the marketplace? It's more of that type of thing, but it still keeps their business in front of them and just lets them know that I'm still their partner and I'm still working with them to make sure they get where they want to go.
What are you telling agents right now as far as, right now in our area, we're having limited inventories in price points that are what we would deem affordable in our area. And how are you coaching them or talking to them about, going out and getting listings in this, with this lack of inventory?
So we reviewed our market numbers this past Tuesday at our business meeting, and April had a lot of red in it. April and May had a lot of red in it. But that is the best time for a seller to put their house on the market because there's not a lot of competition. The days on market were down, but the average sales price and the median sales price were all up 10% or more. I can't think of a better time to want to sell your house. People are not going to be any cleaner than they are right now when entering your house because of everything that's going on. Not to mention, you probably have fewer people walking in your house because their agents are going in during virtual tours. The agents themselves are doing open houses. So you're having less people go in your house. If you're not touting that message, if you're not spewing that information to anybody that'll listen to you on your Facebook pages, on your social medias, your check-in calls, I call them how's your mom and them calls. If you're not giving that information, they're not going to know it. And I guarantee you there are people in your marketplace that are sharing that information, and they're going to get their unfair share of the number of listings that come available over the next couple of months.
Yeah, that's great advice. With part of your coaching, one of the great things about ERA is this type of collaboration we have. We share things openly. We have weekly calls nationally with our brokers. So I have pages and pages of notes of things that go on across the country. And of course, I always get great ideas from you guys. But what are you seeing? This is one question I want to ask. When you have new agents or experienced agents, what are your favorite ERA provided training courses, classes, tools that you're driving them to if they want to improve in any sort of, in any particular topic or subject or whatever? Achieve
is the first one, and that's just a real quick sprint to get them started. It also gets new agents familiar with a lot of the platforms that are available when you affiliate with ERA. The CRM that's provided, the learning platform that's provided, the Text ERA, the iTours, it's going to get them familiar with a lot of those platforms. This second class that I think is the most beneficial is the listings class, because it gets new agents focused on getting listings. We heard a speaker a couple of weeks ago say, hey, if you do not have a listing, then you are unemployed. That kind of chapped a couple of our agents, because they were like, no, I'm working with buyers. And he said, well, no, if you don't have a listing in the yard, then you are not currently selling, marketing anything, selling anything. And so you're not going to, there's no guarantee of a paycheck anytime down the road. So that listings class goes ahead and starts setting up those habits and those good consistent activities to start generating listings. And if nothing else, focuses your mentality on how I'm going to get listings, not how I'm going to get something.
Do you find, because ERA has this platform, learning platform, that they used to do live regional, but now clearly and I'm not sure why I'm saying clearly all the time. Right now they right now, I mean, everybody is now more comfortable doing virtual training, and with these classes available online, do you find your agents are more accepting of those now in a virtual environment than maybe they might have been, or do they, and are they taking them more often now than they might have been before, because they were, as agents like to say, busy? What is your feeling on the virtual platform that ERA has?
The virtual platform that ERA has is really top notch. It's very easy to use. You can access it very quickly and nimbly from a mobile device, so you don't always have to get to your house or get to the office and log into your laptop. They've made it very nimble, so it's very mobile friendly, so you can listen to it anywhere. I think different people learn different ways. I do know that ERA is going to bring back some of these face-to-face opportunities, hopefully before the end of the year. The online is not offering a nice supplement, but they've always offered these online classes. Agents have just had, or are, because of a timing perspective, and because they're more familiar or comfortable doing these online classes, they're taking advantage of them more. We do a hybrid at our office. We do it live. We call it live at training or business meetings. And then they also have the opportunity to do the Zoom. We use Zoom as the platform that we've used. We've been doing that with our business meetings and our trainings all of this year. The Zoom portion has had a higher attendance over the last 13 weeks than the live in-person course. But I would say, and Ronnie can chime in here, the past 2 weeks since we've opened our offices back up, we're seeing, I would say, a healthy mix of those who are choosing to come in person and those who are choosing to take the class online. And it's not the same people every time. It's a good little mix and a good little rotation of those agents who are taking advantage of the resources that we offer.
Perfect. Yeah, I think it's like kind of like NAR says, right tools right now. We've had them and now people are using them, which is fantastic. Ronnie, I want to just kind of switch over to you real quick. There's some things that you're doing out there and you're putting it on your join ERA King page. And I've been impressed with what you're doing. I know you've got your Ronnie Hour, and you've also got your Tech Corner stuff. I would love to play a Tech Corner, but I would probably screw it up. But what is your thought? Let's start with the Ronnie Hour. How does that work, and what's kind of your thought process behind what you're trying to accomplish there?
Okay, well, good question, Mike. And I'm going to be honest as I form this answer. Anna-Marie introduced the concept of Ronnie Hour to me, and I'll be honest, I was not crazy about it because I'm super extrovert. I want people. I don't want virtual people, So I was a little, I don't know, Anna-Marie, and she just kept talking about it and eventually did it, and it was an absolute hit. So mainly to get back to your question, Ronnie Hour just serves as a calm, casual platform for our professionals to gather and we talk about marketing. We talk about what's working. We talk about what's not working. And we talk about things that, maybe certain people are a little reluctant to ask about in a bigger setting, like in our business meeting. So it's really intimate. The time that we pick, kind of leans them into the weekend. So we try to keep it like a happy hour feel. But I love what's manifested from this collaborative time is we've been able to shape workshops that we've handled via Zoom, one on Canva, one on iMovie to help with, like your video edits and things like that. And it's kind of grown, and we've collaborated really well within the ERA network, and even had Seth Tilton on last week, and we also had Kim Lucky on a few weeks ago as well. And it was great to give everyone kind of a fresh perspective on things they can do to enhance, whether it be their marketing or their customer experience. They get a fresh perspective on that, and it's not just me preaching the gospel like I normally do on a weekly basis, which I know can get tiring. Oh, we still here?
So they're kind of internal to your company, but you do the tech corners, and those are public. What are you trying to accomplish with those tech corners? I've definitely seen a handful of them for sure, and they're cool.
So thank you. I appreciate that. So Tech Corner really has a two-pronged approach, if you will. On the surface, it's informational, and I feel like in Ronnie Hour, it answers some of those questions that people may not want to ask. And what I've seen since the Tech Corner has started is not only internally, but even externally, I've had other real estate professionals contact me and want to discuss some of the topics we've shown on these videos in Tech Corner. So that kind of introduces the second prong, in that it kind of serves as a recruiting tool of sorts, to show other agencies, a little bit of what we offer, and for me to showcase a little bit of what I bring to the table in terms of serving the needs of the real estate professionals that we have here at ERA King. Again, and I know it seems like I'm sucking up, but again, this was another idea from Anna-Marie that I wasn't crazy about at first, but it turned out to do well. I mean, I've been at different events, and I've had people say, "Are you the tech guy?" And I'm like, "Well, not really, but I play one on TV." So the impact and the reach we've had with that has been incredible. So I'm very thankful to be a part of that.
Great. Yeah, I'm impressed of how consistent you are with those as well. And I'm assuming that your own agents really appreciate them as well. This is kind of one of those things. I just noticed a post on your Facebook page, so it's not necessarily a topic of conversation, but it's something that's kind of in the news and in everybody's mind. But the whole thing going on with racial injustice and all that right now is clearly a topic that either people want to talk about or they don't want to talk about. And I know our ERA leadership has come out, with some words. Are you guys doing anything internally to sort of have conversations around that, or is it one-on-one? Are you doing much to talk to agents about that? And if that's something you don't want to answer, I understand.
No, I'd love to answer if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can tell you, I don't think there's been a calculated effort on our behalf to do anything, but what has happened naturally, I believe, since these events have become more and more prevalent in our society, is I've had a lot of people reach out wanting to have the conversation. And I believe that's a testament of the relationships built internally and the culture we've cultivated here, to where a sensitive topic such as this, or such as these, I should say, that our professionals have enough confidence and comfort in coming and sitting and saying, "Hey, Ronnie, look, I'm seeing what's going on. I want to know how that feels going through your lens. I want to learn more about how you navigate through society. It's something I've never thought about before. I didn't think, we were still dealing with things like this. And it's led to several productive conversations, I believe, in terms of moving the needle to social equality. So that was a great question, Michael. I'm glad you asked that.
Oh, absolutely. It's one of those things where we're kind of navigating through. Everything's perfect. Then we got COVID, and then we have this sort of flare up. Who knows what's next?
Right.
But it's always good to have those conversations, especially when it comes, to racial issues, because we're a very diverse company, and I know you guys are, and I feel just like you. I didn't realize that this was still a thing, and so when it does happen, a lot of times we just don't know how to talk about it. So I appreciate you going there and talking about that for sure.
Absolutely.
I'm going to bring both of y'all on and see if this works. Do the Brady Bunch thing again. So you guys have so many things happening at once, and it is inspiring to one degree, and a little bit daunting to think that, can I do all these things too? But probably not.
Of course you can, Mike. Yes.
Do it.
It's just enough to do this. But you guys have Agent Bonus Podcast. You have Anna-Marie's got her videos you do. Let's just talk about the Agent Bonus Podcast, because it's something I just discovered. And whoever wants to speak up and talk about that. I'm not sure who does it.
Well, I got to say this. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
But unlike Ronnie Hour and Tech Corner, this was something that I was actually crazy about. As you, Anna-Marie knows, as everyone else watching this knows, like I can talk. I can talk. I'm learning to be a better listener as well. But I've had my own personal podcast for a number of years now, and when presented the opportunity to kind of create a new lane for ERA King in terms of getting into that space and finding a unique avenue to market, I came to Anna-Marie and I was pretty I was pretty adamant about it. I honestly should say, but she gave me the grace to go ahead and get. Hey, Anna-Marie, I think we should do a podcast. Hey, Anna-Marie, I think we should do a podcast. Hey, Anna-Marie, I think.
Mommy, someone.
Right. Fine, do a Ronnie Hour, and I'll let you do a podcast.
But no, Anna-Marie graciously gave me the creative freedom to really just get that off the ground, and it's been great. I will say I've had to rethink about how we're going to produce content because of the whole COVID thing. I had a vision set for this year about how that was going to look, and then that happened. So our efforts got kind of sidetracked to a degree. But no, it's been well received. I know our agents love it. We've got one of our top producers we had featured on, and as of last night, because I checked this stuff, we've had close to 400 downloads of the episode he's on. And I've had other agents tell me that, Ronnie, hearing from him kind of helps me, because when he speaks, he's that guy that everyone listens to. So having that platform in the podcast where you can listen on demand or even download it and listen whenever you feel like it has been great in terms of motivating our agents internally. So
then your audience.
I want to add something to this real fast, because it's something I didn't realize until just recently. So I listen to podcasts. But if you have a car that has, or a truck in my case, that has Apple
CarPlay,
whichever, I did not realize this until recently, and I was like, whoa, now I understand why Ronnie wanted to do this. As soon as I as soon as the truck picks up that my phone is in there, it just starts playing the next podcast that I've subscribed to in their most recent episode. So I don't know why other agents are not doing this. And Ronnie, we need to create a more schedule so that we have more of them, because there's too much time in between when our last.
That's on me. That's on me. Yeah.
And I'm going, this is genius. Why we're going to do so, Michael? This is something you heard it today at 12:30 Central Time.
Write
June
this down.
11th, we're going to have like a daily podcast from here on out. So we're just staying in front of it.
Everybody talks about video and they're like, oh, video. I'm like, I freaking hate video because then you have to sit there and watch it. But I love podcasts because podcasts, I can, just like you said, you pop it in the car and it starts playing. And, I got my Dog Nation podcast, but most of them are real estate related. I have several that I listen to. So I thought that was cool. I did subscribe. So I'm going to be listening to yours as well.
I'm training my dog, my dog Charlie Char is going to school this week. And when I called to set it up, the girl on the phone goes, you should check out our podcast because it's got some helpful tips to get you ready to bring your dog in. I listened to it. I want to go find it. These podcasts are like from 2007, 2008, 2009. And my first thought was not, oh, these are so outdated. They were, oh, this company's been around for a long time. They've been doing this for a long time. They must know what they're doing. Anyway, just some foods for thought on podcasting and why
it's great. It's great. And it's one of those things that agents, should get involved in. And one of my goals, of course, is to take the content we're creating here and just roll it into a podcast format. A lot of these things, Gary Vee's big on this, and I listen to his podcast a lot, is taking and making one thing and utilizing it across different platforms. So you're not creating a podcast and a video podcast or a vlog or whatever. You're just doing one thing, and then you're creating, taking it and putting it across the different platforms. So that's awesome. Anna-Marie, you've been doing your like car videos for a while. And
so good.
I kind of remember when you started that, I'm like, what the hell is she doing? She's going to wreck. But tell me how that started and like how effective it's been, and like who's your audience on that?
When they started, Buyers or Sellers was the audience, and I started as a way to practice and role play. Michael, Ronnie, you've heard everybody talk about just record yourself doing the blah 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 blah, and so I started recording myself, and I needed a place for them to live, so I uploaded them to YouTube, and then they just kind of started getting watched, and I decided to start messaging it towards buyers and sellers. So I did it in my car. For only because it was the one place I had where I wasn't going to be interrupted. I wasn't distracted. I'd shoot them first thing in the morning on my way to the office before, you had a bunch of stuff that was clouding your mind or clouding your thought process. Upload them to Facebook, upload them to, at that time I had a WordPress site that if I uploaded them to YouTube, it would automatically pull them over. So I didn't have to upload them there too. And that's it. I would do it one a week. That was the audience. Now the audience is agents and other maybe small businesses that just need some guidance on time blocking or business planning, just stuff like that. Interestingly, I started out doing them once a week and now maybe do one once a month. But because of how consistent I was in the beginning and my library that I now have, it's like you said, it still feels like I'm posting them all the time because I created that consistency early on. And there you go.
Yeah. Well, since you clearly both of you guys buy into podcasting video, what are you coaching your agents on in terms of how are you encouraging them to get out there, be in front of the camera? What are you telling them to talk about? What are you guys doing in that arena?
So before Ronnie answers that question, part of one of the good things about everybody Zooming here is we've encouraged them to turn their camera on when they are taking these classes and they are participating in our weekly business meeting because it gets them familiar with watching themselves on screen, seeing themselves on screen. I would say in the beginning when we would do our business meeting, most of the agents looked like they were in witness protection because they weren't paying attention to the lighting. Now towards the end, we can see who everybody is. They're not eating on the camera as often as they were, and they're just paying attention more of, their awareness and what they look like. And Ronnie can speak to some of the meetings he's had in the past couple of weeks with agents who haven't been interested in video before are interested in video now.
Yeah, great answer, Anna-Marie. Michael, I don't even know where to start. I'll give you one example because I like the storytelling thing. So I had one agent here. She came to me close to the time I started, and she remembered some of the stuff I'd said in a business meeting about video, and she was denouncing it. She was like, "No, I can be productive just by doing Facebook posts, things like that."
Mm-hmm.
And I asked her. I said, "Well, could you do me a favor?" And she said, "Sure." And I was like, for the next week, I want you to pick 3 nights, and I want you to take your camera phone before you go to bed, talk about what you learned today, and send me the video. Simple enough, right? So she did that, was great. And so I kind of caught her. It wasn't a formal meeting. We kind of caught her after some other events, like, hey, look, your videos are great. I learned this, I learned that, I learned that. And I was like, what are you interested in taking the next step? And she was like, no, I don't know. I was like, well, do me a favor. Send me 2 more videos. Hey, Major, send me 2 more videos next week. Talk about why I should buy listing A or listing B. She sent me those. They were absolutely incredible. And it clicked with her. And she called me out on it. She was like, were you kind of training me like on the slide? I was like, yeah. I was like, thank you for
Awesome.
agreeing to do it. But I'm telling you, let's work together. Let's shape the right video. Let's put it out there and let's see what happens. And we did that. And Michael, now she's bugging me to do more video content. So just because she's seen the value of it and taking time to generate it, produce it, and maybe not stressing on the minor details that no one really cares about at the end of the day, just kind of putting yourself out there, wanting the most for your business, and then going on to the next thing. So that's one of several people I've been blessed to work with. But to go in depth with your question, we definitely promote the use of video heavily. And like Anna-Marie said, this time has been so crucial just because we've all been Zooming, we've all been on that camera. And, whether you want to agree with it or not, you're getting more and more comfortable, So we're just trying our best to capitalize on that and keep motivating our real estate professionals to push more content out, because we all know at the end of the day, you're more likely to get somebody to watch 10 seconds of your video than to read the first 3 words of your typed post on Facebook. So,
What do you tell agents who say, I don't like the way I look or sound on video?
I tell them I don't either. Here's Michael, to be honest, here's something. And I heard this somewhere else. I think it was Jerry James, honestly. But I used this the food store or grocery store example. You're there with your real estate badge on aisle 7, getting some cayenne pepper, right? So
Random.
right, super random. Did that for effect. But someone comes up and they see your badge and they're saying, hey, Ronnie, how's the market? So your options there are to A, answer the question about the market, or say, hold on, let me go get my makeup, let me go do my hair, let me go get my film crew here. I want to get everything polished so I can give you the best answer. Not realistic, really. So, I try to use that example to motivate them to say, hey, your message is not going to be perfect. It's not, but you're human. People embrace the slight imperfections because it means that you're just like them. No one likes the sound of their voice. Yeah, the authenticity.
Right.
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. But yeah,
so
I just try to preach that as much as I can.
Yeah, you don't want it too slick and polished. It just doesn't feel genuine.
Right.
But that's good. I mean, all right. There's a couple more things. I know you guys are super busy, but you also have a ton of stuff going on again. So you've got Fireside Zooms, you've got your virtual series, which you promote as these other things, and Zappy Hour. So Fireside Zoom and Zappy Hour. Just tell me what those are about.
So I'll tackle Zappy Hour. That LeBron does that class for us, and he helps agents leverage or use a database to help grow their business. This past week, he talked about looking for outgoing referral opportunities within your sphere of influence. So we, at our company, we all use the same CRM. which is unbelievably helpful because it creates a common denominator. From there, all conversations can be built on. We're not having to have training conversations where, okay, you use this and you use this and you use this, so you're going to do it this way, but you people, I'll come see y'all in a second. It creates this consistency and this uniformity that all of our conversations grow, and we can get into a lot more nitty gritty or important conversations than, no, you're going to right click and this is where you put your your contact's first name and last name. And I know your company provides a platform too, right, Michael,
Yep.
that everybody uses. So your conversations can all, like I said, it creates a diving board or a springboard to be able to go farther in our sessions. So we dedicate an hour of that in a group setting where agents can log in or join in person and learn about our platform, make sure they're using a database. Because at the end of the day, Michael, what's the best database you can have? The one you use. I knew you were right. So we want to encourage them to use one. We have found that our agents who log in or are accessing their sphere of influence or the platform are our more productive agents. And so we want to encourage those who maybe aren't using anything to go ahead and hop in and take advantage of the platform that we provide for them.
Perfect. And y'all do that weekly?
We do.
Awesome.
We make it part of our business. It has a segment in our business meetings on Tuesdays. We talk about it. We do prizes if you've logged in the most amount of times. We have different contests going on. Again, just encouraging our agents to use this platform that is proven. We've seen the results. It's going to make them more busy.
Right, and that's the one. That's app provided by ERA. So that's the other thing is it's provided by ERA, so it doesn't cost them anything. They're welcome to use whatever they want, but it's nice to have a big tool like that that's so full featured for basically free, essentially. So that's awesome.
And we've had a couple agents that have said, I would like to go with, I want to pay money to go with something else. We have attempted to support them going with a platform that, the majority of our agents weren't using. And they all eventually have come back because they weren't learning all the bells and whistles. They weren't using that platform. And so they said, you know what, if I'm not going to use all of this other stuff that these others provide, I'm just going to go back to this one over here. And so we helped them move over. Like I said, there's some agents that they like all of the things that some of these other providers will provide, and they're more than welcome to use them. We've just been surprised at how many have come back over to Zap because it's simple and they like the familiarity with it.
That's great. And especially when people are cutting expenses, they're like, why am I spending extra for something that I already have?
Well,
so
with all of the layering that ERA and Realogy are doing, with pulling over, you can put your contact's name in one time, and now it's going to go everywhere else on all these other products and tools that they provide.
Right.
I mean, it starts becoming a no-brainer.
And it interfaces with .loop, and some other things too, which makes it really convenient. All right, y'all Fireside Zoom and Lunch and Learns. You did Lunch and Learns. Those were live. Are you still doing them virtually? Or did that switch to something else? Because I think that's kind of cool too.
The Lunch and Learns just kind of moved to a different offering. Tuesdays at 1:30 is our virtual agent series. So that just moved from Wednesday to a Tuesday. Did I say Thursday? A Tuesday time frame. And then we have our Friday class. That allows for the offerings like Tom Ferry earlier today that ERA offered. That allows for our agents to kind of participate in something every day to develop or to grow themselves and develop their business.
Right. And that was a good session, by the way. I hopped on that. So the other couple, the Fireside Zoom, tell me about that. What is going on there?
Well, it's just the virtual version of my agent interviews that I'm doing with agents about not just real estate, but who they are as a person, where they see themselves in 5 years, how they're, who they are, and getting them an opportunity to tell people about their business, how they got to where they are today, where they want to go, the good, the bad, the ugly. And when COVID happened, we had to take it in a virtual sense. So it's totally cheesy. So of course I love it. We did the Fireside Zoom concept.
do they ever take those and cut them up and make them a personal video, like this is who I am kind of video?
Yep.
That seems like a good. That's awesome.
That they've used it for like different clips for different things that they've used them for. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, I have gone through my list. I know there's so much more, but I definitely appreciate you guys, being here with us.
No, Mike, I need one more question. Give me one more.
One more. All right, Ronnie, I'll tell you what. This is wild card. Wild card. You tell me what you want to talk about, because I've exhausted my. I'm like, how do they do all this?
I got it. Your final question is, what is the final score of Bama, Georgia this year?
Now, Mike, you'll appreciate
31-28 Georgia.
Well, oh, wow. Okay. You'll appreciate this. The last time Georgia played at Bryant-Denny, I was there. Matt Stafford had the touchdown pass in overtime. That game was incredible. Awesome. I haven't forgotten about that.
My wife's family is big Alabama fans, and we happened to be at their house watching that, and I was probably the biggest jackleg afterwards. But
that game was good. That was a good game. I still remember that.
All right, Anna-Marie, what's the Auburn Georgia score this year?
19-17 in overtime. Auburn.
Oh.
Okay.
Game-winning safety.
Well, this has been awesome. I appreciate you guys coming. I can't wait to get together in person again sometime soon. And please let me know if we can ever help, and if anybody wants to move to Hilton Head or vice versa, Birmingham. Oh, by the way, I wore my Birmingham shirt a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
We're happy to have you here in Birmingham, or whatever what it says. So
nice to have you in Birmingham.
Yeah. That's like the most comfortable shirt.
Isn't it?
It is. It's so soft. This isn't that soft, but I had to start to wear it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. It's good to see you guys, and thanks for having Seth on last week, because that was cool. Hopefully, he brought some value there. And y'all have a great rest of the week and weekend.
Thank you,
Michael.
Michael.
Bye.